Imagine a tiny butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon rainforest. This seemingly insignificant flutter, according to a theory developed by Edward Lawrence, could, over time, cause a hurricane thousands of miles away. Like me, Edward Lawrence was a mathematician and he was also a meteorologist. And he was studying weather patterns using computer models in the 1960s. He observed that tiny changes, like a butterfly flapping its wings, could result in very different weather conditions. The butterfly effect. Today, I want to share a story that captures this very idea. A story about a team of Nigerians who, through a single project, transformed or caused a ripple effect across the nation's democracy. For over a decade, every single election year, Nigeria faced a frustrating cycle. For those election years, from 1999 to 2011, Nigerians who wanted to vote had to register all over again. I remember this very well as a young student, and it fueled countless conversations about the disenfranchisement and the frustration that we were all facing as I went through that process as well. Every time that election happened, the next election data was essentially put aside, a fresh process was started. In 2010, however, an opportunity was presented and a team of young Nigerians, mostly software developers, took on that challenge and decided to volunteer their skills, their days and nights, driven by a shared passion for a stronger democracy, and decided they were going to build a software that can then be used for voters registration. This wasn't just any kind of software that they built. They did something to show the true power of local innovation. They built a solution that has stood the test of time and made the process for registration simple and provided data that can then be used for subsequent elections. What that meant was if you registered in 2011, you would not need to register again to participate in any of the future elections. What they did showed through their dedication and ingenuity the true power of local innovation. They provided more trust to the Nigerians, knowing that once you register, you can participate going forward. Now, this wasn't just about the efficiency of the process. This was about showing that things can happen when citizens step up. The power of dedicated citizens when they choose to put their hands behind the wheel and show that citizen-driven solutions can be very powerful. It transcended just providing software. It was, how do we increase trust in our democratic process? How do we increase participation in our democratic process? The impact of that is across different areas, you would have noticed people doing different things. You can pick Tunde Onokoya, for example, who has decided that he would like to empower the minds of kids in slum communities with chess education. Or Alex Onier, who decided, based on reports he heard from his hometown, that a lot of students were failing the entrance examination to universities. So he decided to set up a lab to train students how to participate and do things in computer-based tests. The results came out very recently, and the students excelled wonderfully. I, for one, decided I was going to help new voters figure out how to get to their polling unit on election day. Created a system that has been used by more than 1 million people to navigate to their polling unit on election day. And the stories continue. It's simply people like you and I who have chosen to participate and do something, a small contribution. Now, while preparing for this talk, I researched and got access to a letter that was written by the chairman of the Electoral Commission at the time. This was 13 years ago. And I'll quote a specific section of it. And it said, "I would like to commend Orimoloye Fisayo and other members of his group for the selfless service that they contributed to Nigeria. The story of the history of 2011 elections would not be complete without mentioning these unsung heroes of our time." Fisayo Orimoloye passed on 6 years ago, but he left an indelible mark. Let's embrace that butterfly effect. Let's see what we can do within your community to improve governance or improve democratic process. Is there voter apathy in your area? Do you see a sense of powerlessness? What can you do about it? You can do something about it. You can teach people the importance of participation. You can increase voter education. You can choose to engage with the local elected officials in your region about the local issues that you have. Or you can advocate for even more transparency when it comes to finances in political elections. Each one of us has a role to play to change and create a positive effect across the nation. I believe that one small action at a time, together, we can create that butterfly effect. We can all be that butterfly, where we can jointly work together to create a stronger future, a future where every voice is heard and every vote counts. Thank you.